Welcome to the Herd's official YouTube channel. Make sure to like and subscribe. Don't forget to check out the Colin Cowherd podcast, all of our NFL instant reactions, and more football content. You know, J-Mac, I listened to Chicago radio this morning. They're all worked up. Everybody. I had three different people. Well, what do you make of Caleb Williams? And I said, it's a long season. I'm not sure. But I was thinking about this morning. We're both parents. And, you know, parents want their kids to be number one in the class, valedictorian, got to start on the basketball team, number one. It's all nonsense. It's all nonsense. Where you go to college, where do you fit best is where you should go to college. If you're going to be a success, Phil Knight started at Oregon. He eventually went to Stanford, but he started, at Oregon. And that's kind of the reality of life. It's about fit. Here's where finishing number one doesn't necessarily help you. Getting drafted as a quarterback. J.J. McCarthy was the fifth quarterback taken, and Bo Nix was the sixth. Yet they got Kevin O'Connell, and they got Sean Payton. Lamar Jackson, last quarterback, first round, last player actually, went to the Ravens. Patrick Mahomes, the 10th pick, went to the stable Chiefs. Josh Allen, third quarterback taken. Aaron Rodgers, Dan Marino, fell in the first round. One got Don Shula, Super Bowl second year. The other one got, the Packers. I don't know how good J.J. McCarthy is. I don't know how good Bo Nix is. But I suspect they're both going to win their division a lot. And over the course of 15 years, they're going to win a bunch of games. Because I think Kevin O'Connell is the best young offensive coach in football. I know Sean McVay, yeah, but I mean, I don't even consider Sean McVay young anymore, right? Like he's a veteran head coach. And that's a lot of it. There are a lot of bad coaching staffs in this league. And even when you get a coach that's not bad, pretty good, Mike Tomlin, it doesn't mean he has any understanding or any sensibility on how to help a young quarterback. If you go look at Jared Goff's entire career, it is tied to how good his coach is. And the Minnesota Vikings, my wife used to live and work in Minnesota, not a big sports fan. And we were talking about Minnesota beating the Bears because we now live in Chicago. And she said, well, the Vikings are always good, right? And I'm like, yeah, that's right. The Vikings are always good. They always have good owners. They always have a good front office, a good general manager, a solid coach. I mean, Sam Darnold and Kirk Cousins both finished top 10 in offense. I mean, Sam Darnold's career was over. And all of a sudden he's MVP talk. I don't think that would have happened. Didn't happen in Carolina. Didn't happen to the Jets. So this idea, our society is you've got to finish number one. Where do you fit best? I don't care if it's a high school choice, which a lot of times you don't have options, but when it's a college choice, the Ivy League isn't for everybody. Big state schools, Texas, they're not for everybody. Some kids need more tutoring, smaller schools. Some kids may need vocational schools, a junior college, whatever it takes. But I look at Bo Nix. Bo Nix, in September, I looked this up this morning. In September in his career, 2 touchdowns, 6 picks. Yet Bo Nix has a winning record in September. That's called organizational support and coaching support. He's been bad in September, and he has a winning record in the AFC in a division with Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes. You're not doing that with bad coaching. So J.J. McCarthy, Jim Harbaugh to Kevin O'Connell. I'm sorry. A part of his success is that. It's not fair. Baker Mayfield got Cleveland and Hugh Jackson. Mahomes got Andy Reid and the Hunt family. Now, I think Mahomes is better than Baker, and it took Baker a while to prove he could be a franchise guy you could trust. And I do think talent eventually finds its way, but in the NFL, injuries, regulated levels of violence, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you get banged up. Drew Brees wanted to be a Miami Dolphin, and they wouldn't let him. And thank God Sean Payton was there, right? Like banged up in San Diego. Dolphins are not interested. Team doctor says no. What if Sean Payton doesn't exist? One of the all-time greats gets another situation where it's just not perfect for him. So, listen, man, we all know this the longer you live. Parenting is not fair. Some people get bad parents and bad bosses and bad coaches. And, all I know is I look at J.J. McCarthy and Bo Nix. One is the 5th quarterback taken. One is the 6th quarterback taken. I mean, through 3 quarters, J.J. McCarthy was about as bad as you can be in the NFL at quarterback. That pick 6 was Will Levis stuff. But his coach stayed with him, hung with him, supported him. Here's Kevin O'Connell on J.J.'s budding bond with his teammates.
All the credit in the world should go to J.J. and his teammates. I mean, that relationship that's been built, and many times around the league that those, the requirements sometimes are you got to do those things first. We got to see it. For our team to still trust in that moment, and then kind of that explosion of energy and emotion when he was, making some of those plays in the second half, that can be infectious for a while, I hope, because now we do have confirmation.
We are obsessed with finishing number 1. When it comes to quarterbacks, yeah, I mean, there's the occasional John Elway, but look at what Caleb Williams inherited, ownership down. And look what Bo Nix got. Maybe the richest owners in sports. I think I read yesterday they've got a new stadium. It's Sean Payton. They led the NFL in sacks. Bo Nix doesn't have to get in shootouts. By year 2, his defense was keeping him in games. J.J. McCarthy has Brian Flores. I was talking to a Bears fan this morning that was all dejected. I said, listen, the bottom line is Brian Flores in your opener is a rough game. Caleb Williams probably faced his best defensive coordinator in the first game of the rebuild with Ben Johnson.
Well, I'm fired up to announce Hard Rock Bet as the Volume's new presenting sponsor. Everybody knows Hard Rock hotels and casinos are iconic for entertainment. Well, now the Hard Rock Bet app brings more energy and excitement than ever to the world of sports betting. What does it mean for you? Well, here at the Volume, you'll start to see us use Hard Rock Bet's lines when talking about the biggest games, college or pro. We'll give you all the crazy stats from Hard Rock Bet Stats Hub, which is right there in the app. Plus, we'll be taking the show on the road, doing live broadcasts, meet and greets right from the Hard Rock properties down in Florida. The Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook app's the only legal sportsbook whenever you're in Florida. It's also live in Arizona, Ohio, New Jersey, Indiana, Tennessee, Virginia, Illinois, and Colorado, with more states coming soon. So right now is the perfect time to sign up. All you have to do is place your first $5 bet. If it wins, you'll score $150 in bonus bets on top of your winnings. That's $150 more for you to bet this football season. If you're in New Jersey, you can also hit the Hard Rock Bet Casino app. It has all the same casino games you'd play at one of their properties. All your favorite games from Atlantic City. Practically everything you want to bet across every sport. All in the same top-rated, nearly 5-star app. So head over, sign up today. Join us as we get this party started with Hard Rock Bet. And roll with us all football season.
All right, speaking of Ben Johnson, I can't speak for everybody else, but I think this is true. The best bosses I've ever had in my life have held me accountable, but have also held my coworkers accountable and themselves accountable. And Ben Johnson was talking about his debut as an NFL head coach.
I didn't think I called a particularly great game. I could have adjusted a little bit better to the lack of pressure that Flo was giving us. And so I can do a better job there. And then at the end of the game, felt like we could kick it out of the back. We weren't able to get that done. In hindsight, I should have kicked it out of bounds.
Training camp, OTAs, preseason, week 1. He's holding himself and Caleb Williams accountable. Best bosses I've ever had do the same thing. I always tell my boss, bark at me. Just upset, tell me. I'll figure it out. Remember Matt Eberflus? They lost the Hail Mary game, gave up all those free yards before the Hail Mary. He was questioned. Nothing to see here. It is just no big deal. It's a big deal. It was a big deal. A lot of things were a big deal. And it was always Mike McDaniel ice cream for breakfast. Mike McDaniel, Miami, players stroll in late. Tyreek Hill criticizes his quarterback publicly. In camp, remember this year in camp? When teams practiced against those joint practices, practiced against the Dolphins. And I forget the team, but one of the players in the team said, yeah, they don't practice like us. Miami doesn't practice nearly as hard as us. Standards, excuses, not holding people accountable. Sean McVay admits now with the Rams, he had to lighten up. He was so harsh and intense. Tom Coughlin lightened up and then beat Brady and Belichick twice in Super Bowls. If you look at Coughlin and Sean McVay, their resumes are filled with accountability to themselves and others. It's one of my knocks on Mike Tomlin. He's too player friendly. It I mean, and again, I don't expect my coaches to be perfect, right? We're all on our couch watching. You know, when you're in a game and it's fluid and it's going fast, I was joking with the staff this morning. It's like going on a date with a beautiful, smart woman. You want to be funny but not silly, confident but not arrogant, smart but not preach. Like it's, oh, this date's happening and she's judging me and I don't have time, and they make their mind up in 8 minutes. And it's much easier to sit and watch the date and go, boy, he's not handling it well. He's not asking her about her. He's doing too much talking. That's the way we judge in the media coaching. Well, how come he didn't do this and how come he didn't do that? You got a million things going on in your head. You're dealing with coordinators. You're on the headset. You're dealing with players. You're dealing with a clock. So I don't think coaches are perfect. But when they make mistakes, just own it. You just got to own it. And Ben Johnson was in Detroit with Matt Patricia and in Detroit with Dan Campbell. So he's seen good culture and bad culture. And that's the one thing about Dan Campbell. I don't think he's a schematic genius, but he's an authentic guy who, when he screws up, Dan Campbell owns it. And that is a great quality to have as a quarterback or as a coach or as a boss or as an employee. That was a Dolphins-Lions joint practice. Yeah, it was a Lions player who said, yeah, Miami, they don't practice like us. They're not nearly as intense. There you go. Got to own it.